Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Homelessness Doesn't Have a Face. I know I couldn't post last week because I was very sick, and now I have this what is called inyebetu. Don't ask me what that means in English because I seriously do not know. We are back again to educate you, inform you about homelessness. So let's get right into it. This week, I'm going to be covering with you the psychological traumas of homelessness. And I just want to let you know that we're going to be covering 3 of them. So it's just going to be 1, 2, 3 of them. And I want to make sure that you know that if I keep looking down, I'm just putting out notes that I know can be very informative, that I don't go off the tangent. So firstly, I just want to let you know that homelessness doesn't have an age as well. So you can be homeless from a young age like me. You can be homeless when you're at an older age, in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, it doesn't matter. It can come to losing your home, losing your place of stay, and it just doesn't have an age. But I would like to highlight that many of the times, 85% of homelessness usually happens from a childhood instance. It happens when you're still a child, many of the time. That's like 85%. And with that, you have kids that grow up into or finding themselves in situations of criminal justice, and as well going into deep substance misuse. And what I mean by that is that when a child is left to fend for themselves, and they are left to have food and to have, roof over their heads, or they need of having money, and they don't know which other way they should go about things, and what it makes sense is for them to steal. And many of the times it's called shoplifting, and I know that many other people, they do it for fun, but many of the times, because people, they need food, they need money, and they go shoplifting, they steal in order for them to have maybe food or the next drink. And as well, it can also happen in terms of being influenced by others, knowing that I need to provide for myself, and therefore if I'm also going to provide for you, then you need to also help me in this situation. So it happens in both ways, when a person is willingly going into and doing criminal acts, but at the same time it can also be it is willing. You do it willingly, even though it's coming from desperate measures, you're still willing to do that, and it's coming from a point of not thinking that there's no other way out but this. Secondly, what happens in psychological trauma of homelessness is being a victim or being a witness of an event that is violent, or an attack or sexual assault. Usually what happens is many people, they come and they take advantage of that situation. They know that no one is going to look for this person specifically because they have no one in this world but themselves, or they've been abandoned or been neglected, and no one is out here to be saying that, oh, I am looking for una lady, oh, I am looking to protect for una lady. They know that no one is looking for una lady. They know that no one cares about the safety of una lady, and I'm making an example about myself. Doesn't mean that this is the situation. I'm just wanting to give a name so that it becomes a reality in explaining. And this often happens most of the time, and whether it be that a person is staying with family, relatives, or staying with friends because they're asked to stay there because they don't have a home. They're staying with people, as I mentioned previously in my previous video about all the other types of homelessness. And people take advantage of that situation. They know that they can take advantage of the situation, and you can sleep with me. And in that regard, they want you to sleep with them because you're doing it as a payback. And a person is stuck between predicament and values, and is this right, is this wrong, because I don't have anywhere else to go and I'm fully dependent on this person or in this setting. And many of the times a person is going to do it with family that is there, and they know that this is not my child, this is not my son, it's not my daughter, this is it's a relative, so I can actually do this without even being stressed whether they report or not. So it's a big thing because they know they've been able to manipulate them into thinking that this is a good thing, or it's a right thing, not a good thing, but it's a right thing to do. And it's very sad because we grow up and see many girls that don't understand their lives, because only when there's these campaigns that are being ran, only when there's these marches that are being done, and this awareness of educating about sexual assault or abuse, and only then a person realizes that actually this was wrong, I was abused, and it shouldn't have been like that. And it comes in a form of too much damage happens inside of a person when that happens. Already, remember, this person has a trauma of just being homeless, and now they've been attacked. They're being violently attacked. They're being sexually attacked. So you can already imagine how this person is going to pan out with their lives, how they make decisions, and how they see life in general, and how much that makes an individual think either so low up themselves, or think that they don't deserve to be in this world, or decide that this is the way that I should also do it when I'm out of this situation, or when other people do this to me, I shouldn't see it as a wrong thing because I am used to this. So now there's a notion of normalized behavior, of which it's not supposed to be like that. Thirdly, homelessness is a trauma in multiple ways. Loss of a home, a loss of family connections. And what do I mean by that? Loss of a home is a very huge thing, because remember, you built this home, or you were built into a home that you were used to, that you were warm in it. And remember, the things that you saved up to get the furniture, to get everything that is within that house, that didn't come easy, and having to lose it to whatever reason that it might be, that now you have to move out of that. It's very traumatic, because it goes to saying, where am I gonna go from here? Where am I gonna go? We can be a family of 2, we can be a family of 10. Where am I gonna take my 10 kids? Where am I gonna take my 5 sisters? Maybe you are a person that is a child-headed household. Where are we going to go? What must happen? And then comes with the other responsibilities that you also have: school, work, all of those things, they come into play, because you are a whole system that is not only made up in one individual manner. There are other things that come into play in that regard. So that is a very traumatic experience, being worried and being anxious. I think that being very worried, fearful, and being anxious about a situation, especially when it comes to a point of losing a home, is a big thing. And it goes just inside of a person, because you have so many ideas inside of you, and you know that it's not easy for you to say that I'm gonna go to so and so and they're gonna open up their house to me, or I'm gonna go to this place, am I gonna go to the road, am I gonna go. It's such a confusing and a very scaring situation, and that alone is a trauma by itself. And the loss of family connections, remember, in as much as you can lose the home, the building, but you build a relationship, you build love, you build care, you build a warm environment. And when you lose family connection, that is taken away from you, because many people, they have family as their strong pillars, they have people as their rock, people that that I can come to. And now when you lose that, you lose a part of you. And when you lose a part of you, you are very you're not stable at the things that you need to do. You're not stable in the thing that you need to do to make sure this is who I am. This is the lady that I know. I can rock up this. I can do this. I can believe in myself. I can get whatever I want if I just put my mind to it. If I no longer have that support anymore, that part of me is broken. So that is how you lose that family connection, because it's no longer warm. That is why many people will say that, without so and so, I don't know how to carry on. Or people that have had lost loved ones, they don't know how to carry on because they've been that rock in their lives. You're a student, you're a mom, you are a wife, you're a friend, you are a brother, you are a sister, you are this, you are that, and you are that. And now because we are made up of a system, right? And we play each and every role differently. In social roles can be very traumatic when you're homeless. You used to be a student, a worker, a friend, because you play all the different roles. You are one person, but you have roles that you have to play and that you are required to. But now when you are homeless, all your life becomes just you being the individual who's now just a student, or just a mom, or just a dad, or just a sister, because you can't fulfill all your other roles, because now you are faced with this trauma of homelessness, and now you can't even play those roles, or you can't even deliver or be available for that, because you are now faced with a problem that is looking straight into you, and you don't know what else to do, and you feel like it's just pressing on you, and you don't know what to do. And time for you to be a friend, time for you to be a student, time for you to be that person that leans on when they need you, you are not available, because now you are also faced with problems that you are faced with right now, this moment, and I need to get out. You're not even fulfilling your own roles now. You know, in many other cases, I'm gonna stop focusing on my schoolwork and I'm going to be focusing on this problem. I don't have a place to stay. I don't have a place to stay. I don't have a place to stay. And in that regard, now my books are suffering. My grades are going down because I am faced with this situation. And as I mentioned in one of those first videos when I said that my grades dropped because I could no longer be a student. I had to be now this adult that had to be looking for a place to stay, looking for a place to live. That is social roles. And that becomes a huge problem. Honestly, it becomes very traumatic because when you come back from that, okay, now I have a place to stay. Now again, I need to be a student. I need to be a friend. Where do I start? It's not easy. Oh, you know, I can just get back as if nothing happened. It does. It's not as easy. It's not as easy like that, but it happens. So all of these, they form part of the trauma of being homeless and how it works psychologically with an individual. Sum it up with what I've already said in this video and what I've mentioned, the three psychological traumas that I educated you about today, is just the social exclusion. Social exclusion is a huge thing because many of the time you are going to exclude yourself from other people. You're going to exclude yourself from your colleagues, from your classmates, from your friends, from your mates. You just want to be on your own. And many times it's not because that a person is removing themselves because they think that they are better than others, or because they feel like, you know what, I don't want to be with people and I just like being by myself all the time. In many times, yes, that's true. People like to be by themselves. Yes, but then most of the time people, they are protecting themselves because they've been faced with all of these that I've just mentioned, whether it be being a victim, a witness of sexual assault because of being homeless, you know, misusing alcohol or drugs, or just losing family relations or a home. So much has happened in such a way that they just want to keep to themselves, because when they keep to themselves, they know, I cannot lose anymore. The only thing that I would ever lose now is just myself, but I am not going to attach myself to things or to people because you are afraid of losing again, because you've lost before and you don't want to lose again. And many times people, they just exclude themselves, and that is how social exclusion happens from the person, and not from the outside in, but from the inside out. And it's very important that you know these things so that you can be able to pick up when you have family, friends that may find themselves in a situation whereby you see that there's change in behavior, or there's a situation that you can pick up that this is not the usual self. You know, doing this, I just hope that it educates you so that you can be able to see that people are really faced with great deep things, and they're not just going to open up to you. They're not just going to say, you know what, actually, hey, this is what I'm going through. No. You know, it takes a lot. A person who has been homeless and have had so many traumas, other problems coming into play because of homelessness, be it being in whatever situation they find themselves in because of a consequence of homelessness, they're not just going to come up to you and say, this is what happened. But behaviors there and there can tell. And if you find yourself to be in a situation whereby a person is opening up to you, at least you may have an idea, you may understand in a way, just get a piece of it, because you won't understand fully because you had not been in that situation, but at least you can help them in some way or regard. So I really hope that you enjoyed this week's video, and I'll be back again next week with you for another great awesome video about homelessness. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and please do comment. Bye bye.